we are going to be sneaking movements in this week. And I find that, okay, I'm 51 and I also don't care what people think. So I might do all sorts of odd things out in public, like grab my foot and stand at the gas station and stretch my arm out. You know, I do all this. I don't care what people think. But you might not be so comfortable doing that. So these are things you could do in your home or at your office or at whatever your workplace looks like that you can kind of hide, because it doesn't really look like what people think of as exercise, because it's not exercise, it's movement. It's part of that bigger category of movement. And one of the movements we're going to work in is just this side-to-side rocking. Now, what's really nice about this is, you know, people might just think you're fidgety or you've been holding babies a lot lately. This little side-to-side movement with my feet fairly close together gets my pelvis moving in relationship to my thighs, and it also gets into the soft tissue on the outer leg. If I take the pose wider, now I still have the pelvis moving, but now it's working these inner thigh muscles. It's extending those, and I'm going to feel it more on the inner leg than on the outer leg. So that's one way to do this, and maybe you're standing talking on the phone and you decide to rock. Here's another place to use this though, because there are variations which change the intensity. So if I bend over, now I'm going to bend over keeping the curve in my back, so I'm not going over all the way. For example, I have to pick up this block off the floor, so I pick it up and then I stay here for a minute and I do the same movement side to side. There's a tendency to want to take your head side to side. That's not it. You're moving your hips from side to side. Now I can get more into this outer leg, and I even get down into the lower leg. It's the whole outer leg. If I take that same movement with wide legs, now I'm going to feel this on the inner leg again. So where are places you could do this? Well, if you have to pick up, not necessarily a block, but a thing off the floor, you might be bending over to do that. Emptying the dishwasher. This is my new favorite place to do this, because instead of taking the holder for the silverware out and putting it on the counter, I leave it down in there and I bend over and I rock while I get all the knives. And then I put the knives away, then I bend over and I get all the forks and I rock while I'm doing that. And you can work any width. You might do this when you go to put clothing into a drawer or bending over to get something out of a low cabinet. Just take a few moments. It doesn't take very long. You do that for, I don't know, let's see, bend over for this long and go 1002, 1003, 1004, 10 seconds. If you did this 10 seconds every time you bent over, it would make a big difference in how your body's been moving, in what muscles and soft tissue are pulling, in how the bones get pulled on and pushed on and pressed on, and in your ability to have freedom of movement at this juncture of pelvis and thigh. So this is one of the movements you're going to squeeze into your day. The nice thing is I'm not asking you to do it out in public. In your house, when no one's around, you're bent over, you rock. Or you're standing, you rock. That one you might find you're comfortable doing waiting in line at the grocery store. Or again, standing, talking on the phone, get up out of your chair, stand up and rock. It's movement. It's a movement that you're not doing very much. So throw it in there. That's what you get to do today for Sit Less and Move More. Sit less, move more, rocking side to side. That's what we're doing. Go.